John Aravosa's title difficult.
My name is Keith Boykin. I am an adjunct professor here at Columbia University.
My name is Grant Stern. I'm a professional mortgage broker, business owner.
I'm Christopher C.
Well, I'm
Sarah.
I'm Jim. Well, I am known under the nom de plume of Jack Snow.
Our next station stop is San Bernardino.
I'm from central Idaho. I grew up on a 1,600-acre ranch. My mom and dad had 13 children, 9 of their own and adopted 4. I was adopted. I have no information, no idea who my biological parents were. That's the reason I picked the nom de plume Snow, because I'm a bastard from the north. My parents were Mormons. I was raised Mormon. I think that my folks were good people. I also think that they probably would have wound up voting for Trump, and that's unfortunate.
This was the saddle that, I'm going to go ahead and put these headphones down.
I was the worst cowboy ever. I couldn't hit anything with a throw rope to save my life, and I wasn't a particularly good shot.
But you can see how this has been stitched up.
We had a concrete ditch.
You know these are...
So I had a heifer that went in the concrete ditch, and I chased her down. I tried to rope her, and I finally caught her before she went into the tube under the road where she would have died. And I got her down, I took her into my dad, and I said, she's hurt, can we help her? I could look and I could see actually the vertebrae coming through her hide on the back. And he just shakes his head and he walks back into the shop and he comes out with a crossbeam hammer and he says, you know what to do. And I did what I was supposed to do, and we ate veal. I think that becoming an atheist allowed me at least to drop the dogma that I had been indoctrinated with. And I think that being married for 31 years and seeing how happy that can make me, and having children and grandchildren, like when my daughter got married, she was just so excited, and she positively glowed on her wedding day. It was the happiest day of her life. And the very idea that somebody would be denied that opportunity because they happen to love somebody of the same sex, that's just wrong. You can't take away that opportunity. Most marriage.
This is Wally from the movie Wally.
Hello. Sorry, now we're getting... And we'll say hi to Sash. Hi, Sash. You want to say... Okay.
Let me turn around. He was facing the wrong way.
These are just books I've collected over the time, and you can get kind of a sense.
This is the Only in Miami show. That's actually how I do it.
Run daily content, and it's a website I started in 2004. I found this word blog.
I'm Holly Figueroa O'Reilly, and I'm a mom and an activist and a musician, and yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot. I grew up in Ohio. Most of my family in Ohio, they're Republicans or conservatives. None of them voted for Trump. And so I still have not personally met anybody who has voted for Trump. Oh my gosh, it's so warm. I came out here and started meeting songwriters who I really thought that they had something going on, and I wasn't a songwriter at that time. I was just a singer. This is a Larrabee acoustic electric. That was my first guitar that I bought. And they kind of ushered me through the process of, how to write a song and how to book a gig. It's got a lot of dings. It's been broken many times. It's been put together many times. I didn't play an guitar at that time. So this is in like 1999, and I booked a tour, and with an accompanist, and my accompanist before our first gig broke his hip. He fell and broke his hip, and so he couldn't accompany me, and he handed me his guitar, and he was like, most of your songs are 3 chords anyway, you might as well learn how to play this thing. So I said, okay. And I did. I learned how to play it in about 3 days. And I went out and I finished the tour by myself, and I never stopped playing after that. So that's how I started playing guitar.
What did this USA?
It's not hard. I mean,
I found this word
folk music.
Well, I grew up in a mostly white neighborhood, middle-class community in outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and so I feel like I never fit in.
I'd battled a lot of health ordeals growing up. I was born 6 weeks early. I had epilepsy, a brain tumor, et cetera, et cetera. And so since I was young, and so I've always just kind of fought for people who I didn't feel had equal opportunity.
And so I think that experience of not fitting in has kind of helped to influence my view on the world. Because it's easy if you're a part of the majority, a part of the mainstream, to just sort of see the world the way everyone else does. And I've always been that person who didn't do that.
The best way to think about those who are of concern to us is to dub them Sharia supremacists, that is, those who want to impose Sharia law on you. This is the spiritual head of the Muslim Brotherhood. 200 years ago, they would have been shot at the borders, right? I mean, this is, and 500 years ago, they were.
And just culturally, I think there's always been a commitment to social justice that comes with going to Sunday school, Hebrew school, learning about the Talmud, all things I did when I was much younger.
And I will tell you that I think in disadvantaged neighborhoods and black neighborhoods, both, not just one or the other, because unfortunately, I think we do not have the level of news coverage of what happens in black neighborhoods that we should, because they're black neighborhoods.
I'll tell you the one thing I remember my parents telling me about politics. In fact, the only thing I can remember them ever really saying, and that is never cast a vote for any office on the basis of what you think that politician can do for you. Think about what they could do for the country, and specifically those who are most in need.
I'm Jim Hoft, and I run Gateway Pundit, and it's a website I started in 2004. I found this word blogs and researched conservative blogs and found several of these people who were talking. To me, it felt like a different language. It was different than the usual grind I was used to from the New York Times, and so it was just it was one of those experiences, an aha moment.
This is Saint Eurosia. She was killed by a Muslim, and this is an interesting piece because in America you won't ever see a piece of work like this in a church. But in Europe you'll see more pieces like this. But I think it's very cool. I think it's a wonderful piece. Muslims. This is probably from Spain, could be from Italy.
Those are my little nieces. That's why I love that picture. And that one thinks it's during the Pledge of Allegiance, and this little one, Cece, she thinks it's a prayer. She's literally young. I think it's the cutest picture. Anyway.
What did this USA?
Come here. So she's being bad.
Yes, because they have the history where they had to deal with